Hello, boys and girls. We're going to be doing our second read of Dr. Seuss in our Grade 1 Journeys student book. And I'm just going to ask you a question. Why do people write books? Why did Dr. Seuss write books? Do you think he was doing it because he wanted to make kids happy? He wanted them to feel happy? Do you think he was doing it because he wanted to entertain them? That means help them have a happy time. I think that's why he wrote the books he wrote to help entertain children. This lady who wrote the book, her name is Helen Lester. Why did she write this selection? Why did she write this story? I think she wrote it, number one, to give us some information, some true facts about him. So sometimes people don't write just to entertain you. They write to give you some facts about something or someone. Sometimes you write books to try to convince people to do something. That's not what this book is about. So I think he wrote to entertain, and I think she wrote this book to give us information. So there's different reasons why people write. Okay, I have a funny little poem. There's this question down here that says, what makes a story or poem funny? I have one that I think is funny, okay? Here's the picture for it. I think this is funny. Let's see if you know why. It says, this is the prayer of a selfish child, okay? It's a poem. It goes like this. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my toys to break so none of the other kids can use them. I thought that was funny because he's supposed to be saying a prayer, but he's praying that if he dies, all of his toys will be broken by the Lord so that the other children can't use them. And I thought that was so funny. Anyway, so what makes a story or poem funny? And we talked yesterday about the characters. If they're funny characters, that might make the story funny. If the words are cleverly made in a silly way, that might make you laugh. And so that's why his books are so funny. Okay, we're going to look at some words, and then we're going to read the story. Okay, let's start off with this story word. It says hit. And that's something that is liked by a lot of people. Just like his books. They were hits. This word says doctor. What? You're going to be reading that word? DR and a period? DR and a period stands for doctor. It's a short way to write doctor. This word says wrote. Like if someone wrote something, that means they made some letters on a piece of paper with a pen or a pencil or a marker. The word says wrote. And you have to remember that W's silent. It's as if it's not even there. Wrote. Okay, don't get tricked by that one. Wrote. This word says books. Like, if it was one book, it would just be like a group of pages and it has some words on it. It might have pictures and it's like stuck together. It's fastened together between two covers. Like, for example, this is a book. This is a cover. That's one cover. And the back one is a cover too. So it's a group of pages that's stuck between two covers that have words and pictures on them. And that word says books. Okay, this word says rhymes. Those are words that end with the same sounds. Or some might say the same phonemes. Okay, and with the same sounds, they are rhymes. What? Okay, and there's no more of our story words. These are our sight words. These are the 6 words that you have a test on Friday. And just like the word wrote, the word write has a silent W. So this word says write. Right. This E, you haven't got to this lesson yet, makes the vowel, the I, say its real name, I. So it's right. You have to remember how to read this word. You learn it, because it's in a lot of your stories. This one says read. Read. This E is making its long sound. That means it's saying its name. Read. And that A is just making him. It's not making any sound itself. It's just making him say his name. Read. And here we have the word draw. AW says aw, just like the ostrich card says aw. The AW says aw. Draw. What? We read his books because he would write and he would draw to make them. Okay, here's another word. After. 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 Like after I eat my lunch, I go back. Oh, I go to recess. After I eat my lunch, I go to recess. This word says pictures. Like Dr. Seuss would draw pictures. And this is funny because you wouldn't expect a T and a U to say ch, pictures, pictures. You just have to remember that sight word, pictures. And finally we have the word was. Like I was in college for a long time before I became a teacher. Was. All right, so those are our story words and sight words, and we are going to now read this. I will read it, and then you will read it, okay? So, Dr. Seuss. So I'm first, and then it's your turn. Here is Dr. Seuss. You can call him Ted. His mom and dad did. Ted was a funny man. Ted would draw pictures. Here is a fun picture. Ted would write, too. Ted wrote the book, The Cat in the Hat. The Cat in the Hat was a big hit. Can you find the cat in the hat? Ted had many big hits after The Cat in the Hat. Kids like the Lorax a lot. Ted would write rhymes. Can you find some here? Splat. smell, hat, bell, sled, red. And the rhyming words are bell, smell, sled, red, splat, hat. You rhyme them. It was fun to hear Ted read. Now, kids can see animals from his books. And this says, Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden. Oh my goodness, I think I'll read that with you. Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden. Dr. Seuss is still a big hit with kids today. Good reading, boys and girls. Toodaloo.